Moon hunting. You guys want soup? Celeste stuck her head into the living room where Bridge and Tab had done what felt like hours of French. Mom called, Celeste said to Tab. She's on her way home, but remember, dinner's going to be late. Oh, yeah, Tab said. Poor Mom. Why? Bridge said. Today is Karva Chauth, Celeste said. Good Hindu women fast all day to show their devotion to their husbands. For real? Bridge asked. For real, Tab said. It brings luck, they say. They can't eat or drink anything, not even water, which is a little crazy if you ask me. Until they glimpse the moon, Celeste said. I think it's kind of romantic. Romantic to starve yourself all day? Tab asked. And is there a day when the husbands fast for their wives? No, of course not. Oi, the big feminist, Celeste said. It's getting old, Tab. So, 2 soups? 2 soups, Bridge said. Thanks. 10 minutes later, Celeste brought out a tray with 3 bowls of tomato rice soup and a plate of saltines. There's one Carva Chata story about this young queen, she said, crossing her legs on the couch. She fasts to bring her new husband good luck, and by the end of the day she's really thirsty and weak with hunger, but the moon isn't up yet, and her 7 brothers can't stand to watch her suffer anymore. So they trick her, Tab said. I'm telling it, Tab. So they trick her. They put a mirror up in a tree and pretend it's the moon. She sees it shining through the branches, so she eats. And then, boom, her husband drops dead. Tab clapped once on the boom. I said I'm telling it. He doesn't die, Tab. He gets really sick, and then she feels terrible. She's a mess. She takes care of him for a year, and then this god feels sorry for her and makes him better. I heard he died, Tab said, and the queen takes care of his dead body for a year, and that's when the god feels sorry for her, so the god brings him back to life. Girls! Tab's mom stood in the doorway in her socks, holding her briefcase. She looked at Bridge. That's only one story. There are others, less gruesome ones. Celeste popped a whole cracker into her mouth. Yeah, Ma, but this is the only one I can ever remember. Mrs. Patel had put her briefcase on the floor and bent to massage one stockinged foot. Part of what Karva Chauth celebrates is friendship between women, and the smell of that soup is driving me crazy. A bit of sensitivity, please. Sorry. They all put their hands flat over their bowls. When Daddy gets home, we'll go look for the moon. Bridge, do you want to lift home? Sure, Bridge said. That'd be great. I'll come too, Tab said. I love moon hunting. Half an hour later, they trailed down the block after Tab's parents, who walked arm in arm to their car. Tab's father carried a plate covered with foil. It had been one of those weird chilly days that gets warmer as it goes on, and it was now just a tiny bit cool out. Your parents are really in love, aren't they? Bridge asked Tab. I guess so, Tab said. Sure. It's nice. Tab looked at her. Well, yours are too, right? Sure. But you know that stuff Emily said last year about her parents and 9,000 things? Doesn't seem like it could happen to your parents. You think it could happen to yours? I guess not. I don't know. She was thinking of Sherm's grandparents. How many of the 9,000 things could be waiting to surprise you after 50 years? Well, nobody knows, Tab said. The car was small and the back seat smelled like nail polish remover. Tab's father put the plate down carefully between the 2 front seats. Bridge and Tab each took a window so they could look out for the moon. High ground or low buildings, Tab's mother said firmly. That's what we need. Her father turned the key in the ignition. I know a place. They drove with the windows open, stopping for lights, making slow turns, until Tab's father said, There! And Bridge leaned out her window and saw the moon, a pale white sliver. They pulled into an empty spot next to a fire hydrant. They were on a narrow street of low brownstones, with the moon sitting just above them. Bridge felt quiet pour into the car through the open windows, along with the smell of a fire from someone's backyard. Tab looked at Bridge and scrunched up her nose. I smell burnt marshmallows, she whispered. Bridge inhaled, then smiled. I love that smell. She heard laughter through the window of the nearest brownstone, and what sounded like a metal spoon scraping a pot, getting the last little bit from the bottom. Tab's father looked at her mom. Ready? He picked up the plate carefully and began to take the foil off. Wait! Tab's mom grabbed her purse from between her feet, unzipped it, and pulled out a small metal sieve. She held the sieve up to her face and looked at the moon through it. Then, with the sieve still to her eye, she turned and looked at Tab's father. She spoke a few words to him in French. He answered her in French. Then he leaned over, pulled her hand down from her face, kissed her quickly, and held a water bottle out to her. She drank and drank and drank. Then she took a deep breath and said, "Food." Bridge and Tab were silent while he fed her with his fingers, a piece of bread and then a piece of meat from the foil-covered plate. Darkness was falling quickly, and their faces blurred into silhouette. After a minute, Tab's mom took the plate from her father. "These poor girls," she said between bites of food, "are probably bored to death." As they pulled away into the street, Bridge inhaled again, filling herself with the scent of burnt marshmallow. She put her head close to Tab's and whispered, "That was intense." "I know." Tab's voice was loud, and it broke the spell that had been cast over all of them. Her parents started talking about regular things, their days at work. "It didn't seem sexist, really," Bridge told Tab a minute later. "It just seemed nice." For once, Tab said nothing. She just smiled into the dark.